In life, we often encounter people who skillfully manipulate others to achieve their goals at their expense. These manipulators use provocations and control our emotions. In this video, we will turn to ancient wisdom to understand how to recognize a manipulator, how to resist their influence, and not fall for their tricks. The first point is recognizing the manipulator. They are masters of hidden influence, able to affect decisions, emotions, and behavior while often remaining unnoticed. Manipulators have many tricks in their arsenal. They disguise themselves as caring and advising, instilling guilt or shame if we do not follow their instructions. A manipulator rarely acts directly. Their strength lies in the ability to remain unnoticed and influence you through hidden techniques and psychological tricks. One of the main signs is the use of compliments that seem sincere but serve to lower your guard and create a sense of obligation. The manipulator praises qualities that they will later try to use against you, creating attachment and a sense of responsibility toward them. Once you are sufficiently involved, the manipulator begins to carefully guide you toward actions beneficial to themselves, using your feelings and trust. It is important to remember that the manipulator always acts subtly, using emotional and psychological methods to achieve their goals unnoticed. The manipulator plays on your emotions, subtly leading you to the conclusions they want. You think the decision is yours, although that was their original goal. He uses your desire to be a good person by instilling a duty to help or fulfill a request. Otherwise, you are selfish or heartless. Despite this, you can recognize a manipulator and weaken their influence by starting to notice when your emotions and decisions depend on another person. The first signal is a strong dependence on someone else's opinion. This is a reason to stop and think about whether someone is trying to manipulate you. If you are constantly pushed to act against your desires, this is a clear sign of manipulation and control. The first step to liberation is awareness of manipulations and understanding that no one has the right to control your life and decisions. You have full rights to your feelings, opinions, and choices. A manipulator cannot take this right away from you. The second point is how to resist manipulations. The effectiveness of manipulation depends on your reaction and awareness. If you do not give in to provocations, the manipulator loses control of the situation. One of the most effective ways to resist manipulation is to stay calm and not let emotions take over. The manipulator counts on your impulsiveness, expecting you to flare up or get scared. At that moment, they can control you by using your reaction. However, if you remain cool-headed and start analyzing the situation with a clear mind, the manipulator will realize their tactic failed and lose power over you. Another effective method is to ask questions when it seems like someone is trying to push you toward a decision or action you don't like. Start asking, "How will this be beneficial for me?" Such questions reveal the manipulator's true motives and put them in an awkward position. Manipulators dislike having their actions questioned. Your questions can confuse them and reduce their influence over you. It's also important to set boundaries. Manipulators rely on you giving in to their pressure and on you not doing so. Boundaries significantly weaken a manipulator's influence, help you maintain control of the situation, and signal that you're not easy to deal with. You have every right to say no without explaining your reasons. Self-confidence is your main tool in fighting manipulation. Additionally, don't let a manipulator use your kindness or willingness to help for their own purposes. This weakens your position and gives them an advantage. Manipulation often involves creating a false choice, making it seem like there are no alternatives, even though a choice always exists and is important for clear thinking. If something is offered under pressure, ask yourself what other options you have and what you really want to avoid pressure and maintain freedom of choice. Resisting manipulation requires inner strength and understanding that your decisions and feelings belong only to you, and no one can force you to do what you don't want. If you do not allow it to happen yourself, the manipulator will remain powerless. This is the foundation of self-respect and protection against external control. Now, let's talk about how to neutralize a provocateur. Their goal is to unbalance you, make you react emotionally, and gain control over the situation. Provocateurs are skilled manipulators who exploit your weaknesses by hinting at flaws or provoking a sense of offense to elicit an emotional response. The best way to neutralize a provocateur is not to give them the desired emotional reaction. such as anger or defensiveness, by staying calm and composed. One effective method is to play the provocateur's game but on your own terms, avoiding predictable reactions of anger or defense. If you are provoked into an argument, remain calm and do not let emotions take over. This will completely undermine the provocateur's intentions. Try agreeing with something obvious or making a joke about the situation. This confuses the provocateur and deprives them of control over what is happening. Humor is a powerful tool against provocations. Light irony or sarcasm can diffuse the situation and show the provocateur that their actions make you smile. This robs the provocateur of the desired effect. When the provocateur sees that their attempts are ineffective, they lose interest in their game and stop provoking. It is important to maintain distance in such situations. Provocateurs often use close or trusting relationships to apply pressure. If someone regularly tries to upset you, limit contact with that person. The less a provocateur knows about your weaknesses, the less chance they have to use them against you. Maintain inner calm and self-confidence. If a provocation seems obvious and you want to respond, take a deep breath and consider how your reaction will affect the situation. Stay cool-headed and focused. Your strength lies in staying true to yourself and not allowing others to manipulate your emotions. This changes the situation in your favor. To avoid falling for manipulations, it is important to develop awareness and confidence in your decisions. A manipulator always looks for your weak points. One of the key steps to protect yourself from manipulations is recognizing your weaknesses and working on them. The better you understand your emotional triggers, the harder it is for a manipulator to use them against you. Self-confidence is an important aspect that helps you avoid being influenced by a manipulator. When you are confident in your decisions and clearly know what you want, the manipulator loses the opportunity to impose their ideas. If you feel someone is trying to make you act in a certain way, stop and ask yourself, is this really what I want? Why should I do this? These simple questions help you maintain control over the situation and prevent the manipulator from influencing your behavior. Manipulations are often based on creating a false sense of urgency or suggesting that you don't have time to think. In such situations, it is important to take a pause and think things over. Don't be afraid to say, "I need time to think," or "I will get back to this later." This will give you space to analyze the situation and to make a balanced decision without pressure from the manipulator. It is also worth constantly learning and developing your knowledge about manipulative techniques. The more you know about them, the easier it is to protect yourself. To more easily recognize and avoid manipulation, it is helpful to read books on psychology and participate in emotional self-defense training. This will help strengthen your resilience. Such activities develop the skills necessary to effectively resist manipulation. It is important to remember that your life and decisions belong only to you. A manipulator has no right to impose their ideas on you or force you to act against your wishes. You can always say no and choose your own interests. Respect yourself and your boundaries. No manipulation can break you if you firmly adhere to your principles and stay true to yourself. Communicating with manipulators and provocateurs requires awareness and confidence in your abilities. They can be cunning and skillfully play on your emotions. It is important to remain calm and not give in to provocations. Ask questions and set personal boundaries to maintain control over the situation. Develop self-confidence so as not to allow manipulators to influence your life. Be vigilant and monitor your emotions. No matter how skillfully manipulation is constructed, you can always find a way to neutralize it. Your strength is to remain true to yourself and your principles. No manipulator can break you if you firmly know what you want and are ready to defend your interests in any situation. If you liked these tips and want to learn more about how to maintain inner strength in any circumstances, subscribe to our channel, like, and leave comments. Your support helps us create even more useful content. Thank you for your attention, and see you soon in new videos with helpful advice for your development and inner strength.